Pharisee. Oh my God, who is the Pharisees, Yashar? I'll ask you that later. Anyways, according to some scholars, however, the 5 distinct sections of the Book of Enoch were originally independent works, themselves a product of much editorial arrangement, and were only later redacted into one Enoch, first Enoch. Check this out. This is what I was trying to read when I read out of time. No fragments of the longest portion of the Book of Enoch, which is chapter 37 through 71, however, were found among the Qumran caves. Don't try to make it seem like this book that y'all have in y'all hand was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, because it wasn't. This has led scholars to theorize that this section was perhaps written in the 2nd century AD by a Jewish Christian. Now, where the hell you find them at? A Jewish Christian wrote the Book of Enoch? Are you serious? Why would he write that? Who wished to imbue his own eschatological speculations and with the authority of Enoch. So this nigga done wrote a book and done used our forefathers' name to try to get some glory. That's like me coming on here and saying, I am such and such and such and such. Y'all know how them fake Israelite groups, the dude was saying, I am Paul. I am King David, reincarnated. Yeah, nigga, you ain't King David, and that nigga ain't Enoch. And added this to 4 older apocryphal Enoch writings. Now, some of it is old, but this not. Who in the world is that white man right there? Bring him up. James Bruce, come here. James Bruce. Anybody know who James Bruce is? James Bruce, 4th manuscript, solving the mystery of the providence of the Roman Enoch manuscript. For 4 centuries, the Book of Enoch was lost to Western Christianity. 4 centuries. Everybody put your phones up. That means 400 years. Nobody knew where the Book of Enoch was. And Judaism. That was until 1773. How the hell? 1773? Are you serious? 1773? When Scottish explorer James Bruce brought back from Ethiopia. Oh, he got this from Ethiopia. 3 copies of it to France and England. Yet by the end of the 18th century, there was another copy. Well, damn, how many copies of Enoch is there floating around? Of the Book of Enoch in Rome in the library of Cardinal Leonardo Antelli. This was an Ethiopic manuscript that around 1825, listen to these numbers, Enoch wasn't alive then, in no 1773 and no 1825, would be acquired by Angelo May for the Vatican Library where it is currently preserved. Go to the next slide. Let's go to Ethiopia. The Gaez. Let's talk about the Gaez. This book called Reception of Ethiopic Enoch in Quina, Ethiopian Poetry, transliterated and translation with explanation. This was wrote in 2018 by an instructor at Samaria University, Addis Ababa, out of Ethiopia. The Book of Enoch is one of our treasures that are centuries before the birth of Christ. Supposedly. I just heard it come out in 1770. Whatever. Anyways, even though it has been lost for over 2,000 years. Now, hold on. I just said 400. They said Ethiopia, they ain't had it for 2,000 years. Now, they just pop up with one, huh? The Gaez version is entirely preserved and found in Ethiopia. You know what that means? That's the Gaez version. The Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church scholars still have a respect for it and look after it. Their understanding of Ethiopia Enoch is clearly reflected in a long and glorious tradition of Queen. Now, what the hell is Queen? A form of poetic expression. Hold on, let me read that again. They take this as scripture. No, a form of poetic expression. Now, that's what the people in Ethiopia think about the Book of Enoch. They ain't trying to tie it in and say the Lord sent this to Enoch. They say it is a form of poetic expression and expressive of Ethiopian literal genius. They just think it's a good writing. Go to the next one. Let me read this fast. The 2nd century influence on the Book of Enoch by George W.E. Nicholson wrote, the Book of the Heavenly Luminaries is part of the evidence of an early discussion and function of structure and celestial and terrestrial phenomena belongs to do with a debate belonging to 2nd century BC in Judaism. So in the 2nd century BC in Judaism, you know what you got? You got fallen angels in the Quran. Yeah, they wouldn't bow down to Adam. You got fallen angels in Greek mythology. They call them gods. You got fallen angels all over the damn place because of the Hellenistic period. Oh, yeah, that was the time when Jubilee was written by a Pharisee, by the way. We'll ask who those Pharisees is later. Here's what I want y'all to understand about this. All of this stuff that we got, Ecclesiastes, I believe it's 12 and 13, because my time is getting short, says, I'll go to it. Let me go to it. You can get that Barack Yalla for me real quick. We got to make sure we understand what's really going on.
1 minute warning.
It's a whole bunch of books out there and a whole bunch of information. Let me know when you got 12 and 12. Real quick, we want to read that real fast. It's a whole bunch of books out there. Go ahead. Let's get it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books, there is no end. And
There ain't
much
no end
study.
to all these. It's 50 million Enochs. Google it right now and see the book of Enoch. You're going to get 50 million Enochs. Which one is it? Which cover is it? Keep going. It ain't no end. Keep going.
And much study is a weariness of the flesh.
That's why the brother tired, man. He been reading. Yeshua been doing all that damn reading. It ain't got nothing to do with God, salvation, Yahweh Shai, the commandments. It's just a bunch of good. It's like watching a Netflix. Keep reading.
Karawakan, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God.
This is what it's
and
all
keep His
about.
commandments. For this is the whole duty of man.
Ain't no commandments in none of these books.
Netflix and chill, why don't you? I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, y'all done got it. All the people in the comments is going psycho. Like, I don't even understand what side anybody on the comments is on. Hulu too. Man, did y'all see that? The BBLs of old on Hulu? Maybe that's on Tubi.
That's definitely on
Find the
Tubi.
BBLs of old
100% that's on Tubi.
That's on Tubi. Hey, I think we need to get started on that production. ASAP, y'all. Let's get that cracking. But still in all, I thank everybody for coming and showing up. Ooh, this is a spicy one. The fallen angels biblical, y'all. Are fallen angels biblical? Have we been hearing all of these sources? Have we been hearing all of this information? Is it coming from the Bible? It's a really good question, right? It's a really good debate. I agree, Bougie Bob. So we're going to go back into it because this is the second round. So we're going to hear our rebuttal from Yashar. You know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of time to give your 6-minute rebuttal. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. And it was
Let's
a
go.
whole lot said.
It was. I'm just saying. Wow.
So now, according to Kazakh, we are now Canaanites. We're not Israelites because we went into the land of Canaan and decided to squat, take the land, call it our land. But according to Kazakh, we Canaanites. So we're not Israelites. Can you go inside, please? Thank you. And so I'm trying to understand. We Canaanites, Kazakh, man? That's crazy that you would say something like that, man, because the Amorites are Amorites because they're in the land of Amorites. Family, we travel all around the world. And because we go to different places, don't make that us. All right. So again, I asked the brother to show us who the Rephaim was, progenitors. Just dismiss that like it wasn't there. I get it, because you can't find it. That's in the scriptures, by the way. If you don't know who the progenitor is, then something wrong. Then you lacking some understanding that you're supposed to have. Now, The scriptures told us clearly that these sons of God came down. Last time I checked, we were sons of Adam. Last time I checked. The name Yahshua makes us the prince of Yah. That gives us our title, our name. So we don't have to do all of that to speaking of. That's very clear. So I guess us going into Egypt made us Egyptians by nation. That's absolutely insane too. The Zizuims, right? The sources that you brought up, none of them stand on our scriptures at all. Every source that you brought up to so-called debunk the book of Enoch or any source that I presented, none of those individuals stand as you stand or as I stand. How can you deal with that? Every source that I tapped into, they stand on what we stand on. Every source that I tapped into, the transliteration alone, them giving it to us so that we can have access to it, lets us know that they stand on what we stand on. So I'm just confused at how you go to the pale skin and say, well, I need your help. Help me, please. That was crazy for me to see. And then you pushing it like, oh, they said this, so I'm standing on it. What? Do you not know from the Elephantine Islands when we ruled that and controlled that? If you know our history like you should, I'm sure you know this. Where did we go? Did we go back home? Or did we go to the Ethiopians and they opened their arms up? And because they opened their arms up, we blessed them with the scriptures. And it's one of the fullest that's kept in its entirety. And so this is how the pale skin got it. They brought their silly ass, excuse my language, to Ethiopia, right? And had to get it in that language and then had to figure out how to transliterate it. Again, I guarantee you, they didn't tell you that in the information, did they? No, they didn't. See, I did the research and understood the Ethiopic, the Ge'ez. So you trying to talk about something that you're not familiar with, you shouldn't do that. No, it's not a good look at all. It's not a good look at all. James Bruce, what authority do James Bruce have dealing with our information, our ancient information at that? Last time I checked, he ain't got no authority in Yahshua or ancient Israel. But you would take his opinion and come to a debate with that against our ancestors' information. That's insane. Then you said something about the angels, right? Being obedient, listening to the Most High, right? As if they are righteous angels. Revelations, right? What is that? Revelations 12,
1 minute
7.
warning.
Revelations 12 and 7. Let's see if these angels are what he say they are. All right. Let's get it quick. Revelations 12, 7. What do it say? It says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. Our brother Kazak made a statement about these angels being obedient, doing every will of the Most High. The Most High ain't got no enemies.
Time.
What? Revelations right here. This is the Bible right here, biblical. It says something different, loved ones.
Time.
Oh, my goodness. My. Thank you for all that. Woo! I did catch that. Judges that information will be coming shortly. Also, hear it for that part of the debate. Are you there, Yashar?
Yeah, I'm on that.
All right. So now you have the opportunity to have your second round in that
He already
rebuttal.
did that.
I
Oh
did my
my
second
gosh.
round. It's my closing.
Oh, it
We
is
on
closing
closing
statement.
now.
Let's
Yes,
go.
ma'am.
Closing.
I mean, we
Thank
can
you.
go another round, though. I still got some, I still got some more ammo. We can go another round.
Can
Shaw, what you
can
want to do?
can
Cause you want to go another round?
can I can I appeal to the moderation?
Oh
Moderator.
man, you been appealing all debate, man. Ain't no more appeals for you, brother. Nah, I'm joking.
No, hey, no, I wanted to make the question and answer round because I think that's where all the information gonna come out of part of the debate. But I was shut down by the administration, the oppressor. I was shut down by the oppressor. They told me I couldn't do that, so I just if the brother would like, we could just get to it, and I think that'll kind of solidify the more
Well,
information we have.
the
Y'all
Q
make
and A's after the closing. So y'all just hit your closing remarks, and then we get to the Q and A. Sound like you know what I'm saying? We're gonna put a bow on it and wrap it
Yeah,
up
yeah.
nice.
I was just talking, man. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's get it.
All right, so closing round on Yashar. Let's get this going and popping.
All right, family. So just rehashing what I went over, right? I went over the fact that the Rephaim is Israel, right? The Imims, the Anakims, all descend from something else other than mankind. The scriptures showed it very clearly. I showed it in the language and also showed it in the scripts. I also showed that, right, the angels are not all obedient, right? The Most High has his, which Mikael and his host, right? Because he has a host, just like Hashatan has a host. Mikael has a host, as we just read in Revelation, but he don't have no authority over the Hamashiach, right? So understanding that there's authority given and there's hosts that's under those authorities, you got to understand him and his dumb ones that fail, they got some things going on that's not as we should understand it to be, right? For example, them coming into mankind. This is why the Most High flooded the earth. He didn't have to flood the earth for little people like us. The evidence is all over the earth if you really want to know. Let me show y'all something. The evidence of the flood of these fallen seeds, right? Excuse me, y'all. Get to it. They build stuff like that. You see how little that person is? You know, we didn't build that. We build stuff like that right there, right? And then you got structures like that to help build things like this. That's not the hands of man's loved ones. But we gonna keep it pushing so we can see some things, right? Like this, for example. Obliques. Those are giants holding those. You see the little guy right there at the bottom kneeling compared to those that's holding it? These are on the walls, family. Right. Then you have these workers building necklaces. Look at the necklace, fam. Who that's for? That's for Brother Kazak. You know what I'm saying? The big brother. You know what I'm saying? Mighty brother. Right? We get to the fossil evidence, right? Talks about the L's, right? 33,000 L's was how tall these giants were. 2.1 miles. Now, I'm not sure if you know how long a mile is. That's 4 times around the track. Um, a person twice that, they big, family. They big. And I guess that a man went up there and carved this right here in Peru. He said, you know what? I'm an artist, so let me go ahead and go on this mountain and carve this, make it look like a person, right? Or let me carve this, make it look like a face. Because if you walk up close to it, you're not going to be able to see that picture, right? You're not going to be able to see these type of pictures, fossilized, what they call it, petrified giants, right? This is the evidence that the Most High left to show you that he's not playing with nothing that disobeys him. Nothing. You'll be left on wherever he say as art, right? And this is a picture of Golgotha, where they hung Yahushua, which is a skull. They call it Skull Mountain. That's what Golgotha means. So here's why they call it Skull Mountain, because it's literally on the skull of a giant. But if you're not a researcher, right, then you would think that this elephant, right, that's in the midst of the middle of the ocean, a man went out there and carved this rock with his hands. Said, you know what, this looked like a big enough elephant for me right here in the middle of the ocean. Petrified elephant, loved ones. Oh, mother elephant and baby elephant. I guess they just went out there and said, you know what, let's do that. In Mexico, petrified camel, large. Oh, I guess, during that time, they was just carving out large camels on top of mountains and things like that, right? Making Roman heads on the face of a mountain, right? That's what they was doing. The tools, they had the tools, the ladders and all that to get up there, put these faces, right? These petrified faces on rocks. This is what they was doing, loved ones. This is the fairy tale that we supposed to believe, loved ones, right? We supposed to believe this fairy tale. This is not documented by our ancestors, because our ancestors wasn't intelligent enough to document these type of things, right? The Most High power that created all things didn't give us all understanding of all things, good and bad, whether we can see it or not see it. I ain't saying that we understand everything in the spiritual realm, but he gave us some understanding. But nah, I guess not. I guess that's fairy tale too. I guess the Bible, when I open up the Bible, I just got to look at this as it's part fairy tale, part truth. That's a crazy way to look at what I stand on. That's a crazy way to look at my foundation. I can't do that, loved ones. When I look into these scriptures, it teaches me about these fallen sons of God, watchers, right? Nephilim, giants, titans. This is how these things came about. And how they became a part of everybody's story is because everybody had to encounter them. Everybody had to encounter them. This is why they're in everybody's story. So you can look into the Babylonians, you can look into the Assyrians, you can look into the Far East. All of them will tell you about these giants that ate their babies, that ate men. They'll tell you about it. And it confirms our scriptures from Genesis to Revelations, when they talk about the angels that's wicked and that don't follow the Most High, to their offspring of being disobedient by coming down here bringing forth that abomination. And with that, I yield.
Like Salagi Kiss.
Yes, sir.
I just want to say the water to Yashar for yielding, because there ain't no time up there. She been gone for a minute.
What the deuce?
I hope I
She
wasn't
got
too long,
raptured
bro.
up. She got raptured up by the fallen angels.
All right. Let me see. Pitbull,
What's going on, Kiss?
are you able to keep the time? Because I don't know.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
She
Thank
probably
you.
wasn't plugged up. Her phone probably went out. Battery. She probably wasn't paying attention.
Well, I can say the information is definitely interesting. information from both sides.
This chat go crazy. The
Ain't it
chat is
going crazy? They just over here going psycho. You hear me? I don't understand why she got clipped. Or her battery probably went dead. She would have texted me by now and said something.
I can't say nigga can't live, boy. They like crunchy Mike. Like, dang. Give a brother
uh,
grace. Come on.
All right there,
hey,
damn.
if you want kids, I could just take 15 minutes and we'll call it 8.
I'm coming now.
I didn't understand anything you just said. You said I could take 15 minutes. Oh
I
my
could take
goodness.
15 minutes and we'll just call it 8.
Cause
Not the
what? I
room
don't.
start.
I didn't get.
No, I don't even think I was that long winded for it.
No, I don't think you was either.
Mm-mm.
What time you need?
Um, you can give him 10 minutes because I know he did go over.
Okay.
That's good. Is that well with both of you all? Because you did go over your time. You sure?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Kill that
10
light.
minutes.
10
10
minute
minutes.
what
Kill
break?
that light.
10-minute break?
Yeah, for his rebuttal. No, for his rebuttal. He's gonna go. I mean, not his rebuttal. I'm sorry, his closing round.
She
Shit,
asking, is
if he
that
need
okay
10
with you,
minutes, shit, give him
Yashar?
10 minutes.
She did not fall asleep. Shut up, Bonnie.
The timer start when you start.
Yeah, if he
All
need
right,
the 10, let him get the 10. Ain't tripping like
all
that.
right, let's do it. Revelation chapter 12. Let's start where he stopped at about these fallen angels. What I wanted y'all to make sure y'all understood in this whole thing is that the title was, "Are Fallen Angels Biblical?" Now he showed some good pictures and they was very interesting of big giants and big old people and all kind of old crazy stuff, but that wasn't the Bible, right? The Bible is Genesis, Revelations, including the Apocrypha. Now, there are extra books and extra information in science that Kazak just ain't smart enough to understand. Here's what I do understand. When you seen fallen angels in the Bible, it was talking about men or it was talking about kingdoms. Let me show you. Revelation chapter 12. I'm going to read it for the sake of time. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. That is Israel, right? And the moon under her feet, and had a head, a crown of 12 stars. That's the 12 tribes. And she, being with child, this is talking about Christ, travailed in birth and pain to deliver. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, behold, a great red dragon. That is your oppressor, having 7 heads and 10 horns. I can't give you the whole breakdown right now. Just know that's your oppressor. And his tail drew a third part of the stars in heaven and did cast to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered. That's him ready to kill your boy before he get here for the devouring her child as soon as he won. And she brought forth a man child who was to rule all nations. Who is that? I told you it was Yahweh Shah. You ain't believe me though. With a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and his throne. And the woman fled into the wilderness where she had a place. You remember, the Israelites went to the wilderness of God that they should feed, and there was a war in heaven. This is not talking about where the Most High dwells. Ain't nobody fighting in God's house. It don't happen like that. This is all a vision being seen by John. If you thought it was fallen angels, it's because you've been lied to by your pastor. And then you come and be an Israelite, and then Yeshua tell you the same thing. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. This is all spiritual. What's going on is really the kingdoms are being overthrown. You don't believe me? The same thing that John saw? Daniel saw it in Daniel chapter 7. Let's go to Daniel chapter 7. Why don't we? Daniel chapter 7, let's start at verse 9. This is what was happening in Daniel, in Revelation chapter 12. And I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the ancient of days did sit. That's the Most High, whose garment was white as snow, and his head was like pure wool. He was a nigger. This is the nigger God. His throne was as fiery flame, and his wheels as a burning fire. And the fiery stream it came forth. Let me go to verse 11 for the sake of time. And I beheld Then, because the voice of great words which were spoken, I beheld till the beast was slain. Who is the beast? I told you who the beast was, and his body was destroyed and given to burning flames. Let's go to verse 13 for time. And I saw the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man. Let's just say that's Yahushua. Came in the clouds of heaven and came to the ancients of days and brought them before him. And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom. This was all about kingdoms. That's what this was all about. These visions was not about no fallen angels, nobody overthrowing God, heaven, and all of that. The heaven that we talking about is rulership on the earth. If you're on the bottom, you in hell. You see where niggas is at. Where you stay at? You stay in Chicago, niggas is in hell. You stay in Duval, niggas is in hell. No matter where you stay at, you can see the difference between heaven and hell. That's what this was talking about. Everything that manifests in the spiritual realm has to manifest in the physical realm. You don't believe me? Go to Isaiah chapter 14. These are all the places where they're going to pull for these so-called fallen angels. Isaiah chapter 14 is talking about kingdoms. You don't believe me? For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Who is that? That's a people. Let's read verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them in the place. The house of Israel shall possess them in the land as servants and handmaids. This don't got nothing to do with fallen angels. And they shall rule over their oppressors. I told you it was about your oppressors. Now, how in the world they skip to that? To verse 4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. Now, was the king of Babylon a fallen angel, or was he a man? He was definitely a man. Let's go down to verse 12, where it's talking about this king. This king in verse 12, it says, how art thou fallen, O Lucifer? Everybody that was ever a Christian starts shaking when they hear the name of Lucifer. Guess how many times this is used in the Bible? This name appears one time in the Bible right here. And guess what? It ain't Satan. It's the king that we was talking about that I showed you in verse 4. Oh my God, you don't believe me, do you? Let's go to verse 16. Verse 16, we're still talking about Lucifer, who y'all think is Satan. It says that they shall see, oh, I'm sorry, my bad. He fell. This guy fell. He didn't make it. Yeah, he's a fallen angel, but he ain't no damn angel. He's a man. You don't believe me? Verse 16, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon you and consider thee, saying, is this the man? Is this the what? Is this the man? Nah, is it the angel? Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, that destroyed the cities thereof? That's one of them places y'all thought was some fallen angels, but it's talking about men, the king. It do the same thing in Ezekiel chapter 28. You don't believe me? We can go there. Here's what you got to understand. Psalms chapter 147 says, he showeth his word to Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He ain't dealt so with no other nation. So why you think you can go to a damn Ethiopian Bible and get the realness of the Lord? He said in his scriptures, Ethiopia will be slain by the sword too. Every time you start talking about how fake the book of Enoch is, these niggas want to pull an Ethiopian Bible. That ain't the Lord's people. And then he talking about, I'm going to the pale skin. You going to the dark skin. And them dark skin ain't niggas. It ain't the children of Israel. What I asked was you to show anywhere in the Bible, and this man ain't showed nowhere in the Bible, nowhere in the history of niggerdom is there no fallen angels. Not nowhere, not no how. It don't exist. I just showed you in Revelation 12. You thought that was fallen angels because it talks about Michael and Gabriel. They fighting against each other because the Lord placed them there. They're doing their job. Oh, we ain't go to Matthew chapter 4 when Christ was led into the wilderness by the Spirit to be tempted of Satan. You know what Satan was doing there? The same thing he was doing with Job, tempting Yahushua. He has a consistent job, and he's way better at doing his job than you are. Let's go to Hosea chapter 1 real quick. Let me close this out. Hosea chapter 1, real quick. I'm going to go to verse 8. Hosea chapter 1 and verse 8. Nope. Hosea chapter 1 verse 9. Then said God, call his name Lord my, for you are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sands of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in that place where it was said to them, you are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. Wait a minute. Hold on. I thought we was the sons of Adam. No, these are the sons of the living God. Let's go back last week when we had a Trinity debate. Let's go to John chapter 1. Let's see what's going on. John chapter 1, right? If you scroll down to verse 12, I'll go to verse 11, just for the Christians in the room. Hoba Bashanda. He came unto his own, and his own received him not, but as many as received him gave